Dark Imp, helping parents reclaim family time by playing board games together. Today I'm going to share with you two brand new games from the Dark Imp, Doughnut Dash and Top Cake. These two games come in our second puzzle box, which has a theme of donuts and cakes, surprisingly, but they can also be bought separately as games on their own. So let's take a look at them. Doughnut Dash is a game for 2 to 4 players in which you are dashing madly around a donut factory, trying to get donuts and stack them up in your own particular donut stack. Now, the factory floor is made up of 16 tiles like this, and you're going to shuffle the tiles and put them out in a 4x4 grid. There are some barriers which restrict your movement around them, and so there are some barriers that are fixed barriers, and there are some barriers which are reflecting barriers, so you might choose to go one way and end up going the opposite. There are also some teleports which can have you moving in strange directions. You can go into a teleport in one direction and come out on the other, matching teleport in a different square. You have got a gang of 2 donut thieves which are working for you. These are my 2 donut thieves here. They start at different parts of the board, and at the beginning of each round, every player selects one direction that they're going to send their 2 thieves in. So you've got north, south, east and west cards. Each player has a set of these. There are also north, south, east and west markers which go out around the board so everybody knows which is which. You're going to select one of these directions face down, and that's the direction that both of your thieves are going to move that turn. When everybody's chosen, you all reveal and execute your movements. You move until you reach a non-empty square. So it starts off with donuts everywhere, and if you move in a certain direction, you're going to find a donut and you're going to grab it and put it in your stack. But as you go through the game, donuts get taken and the factory floor gets a bit sparser, but it doesn't matter because you keep going. If you select south, for example, you keep travelling south until you hit a square that is not empty. The factory is shaped like a donut, so when you go off to the north, off the edge of the board, you come in at the south. Same if you go off at the east and you come in at the west. So there's really good continuous movement. So what with the barriers, the reflecting, the keeping travelling until you hit something, the going off north and coming in south, the donut shape of the board, you could make a move that takes you south and you could be zooming all over, going into teleports, coming out of other teleports, bouncing off reflective barriers, and ta-da! I've ended up on a magic square where I've got a nice donut. So the donuts, there are 5 different types of donuts in the game. These are, there are strawberry lemonade ones, which are sort of pink. There are coconut chocolate ones. There are blueberry violet ones. There are rainbow frosted ones. And there are tomato ketchup ones. And these different donuts are spread out. There's different frequencies of them. The player aid that each player has shows you how much each of the donuts are worth. At the end of the game, you're going to score according to how many donuts you've got in each different variety. So the pink ones are only worth 1, the brown ones are worth 3, the blue ones are worth 6, and these ones are change value, these rainbow ones, according to how many you've got. So the more you've got, the more they're worth. The ketchup donuts are only worth, well, they're worth -1 point each. But they're a game end condition. So the game ends either when there's only 1 ketchup donut on the board, there are 4 to start with, or when somebody's stack reaches a certain height. So this really is a sort of mad dash around. Another really nice thing about the game is that there are these sugar rush cards, where when you take a pink donut, those are the ones that are worth least, you get a sugar rush card, and that will give you a benefit which you can use later on. They're all good, they let you do all sorts of things to the board, they let you switch tiles around, they let you change the direction of your movement, they let you move diagonally, they let you do all sorts of things, change the order of donuts in your stack. If instead of landing on a donut you land on another player, you steal their donut, the one at the top of the stack. So that is a mad dash around a donut factory, grid movement, and it's called Doughnut Dash. Secondly, Top Cake. Top Cake's a bidding game. It's a card game, so there's different cards in the pack. Each player has a set of bidding cards, 1 to 8, and then 2 special cards, Snatch and Reverse. When you're playing a 3 or 4 player game, you're going to take out cards 7 and 8, so you're going to be left with 1 to 6 to bid with, and your Reverse and your Snatch cards. You are going to have each round a number of different cakes that you can bid on. So you're down at the cake auction and you're trying to get some beautiful layers of cake, which you're then going to stack on top of each other to make the best stacking cake. When you're bidding, there are 2 rounds of bidding in each round, so there are 4 cake cards. And in rounds 2 to 5, there's also a topper card available. So this one's a cherry, for example. When you bid, you select 2 cards on your turn, 1 to put face up and 1 to put face down. Then it goes to the next player and you keep going round. When it gets back to your turn, you choose 2 more cards, 1 to put face up, 1 to put face down. And it's going to go round again. The first player, so you go round twice. So you play 4 cards and you go round twice. But the first player gets to put the first player card, that is an extra bid, which is half a point. And that can be put next to any of the cake cards on the table. When all the bids have been made, you reveal the cards and you look and see who won each card. It's not as simple as that though, because duplicate cards are removed. So if 2 players play a number 6, which is the highest bidding card, no, neither of them count. You're looking for the highest total bid, so if you put a 6 and a 5, your bid's 11. But somebody could also play a reverse card, which means that instead of looking for the highest bid, you're looking for the lowest bid. Again, if you put 2 reverse cards out, they both cancel each other out. If you play your Snatch card, you're going to immediately take that card regardless of what everybody else has taken. But of course, if 2 people have played the Snatch card on the same turn, they're discarded before the bids are calculated. You can only play your Snatch card once in the game as well, so you've got to be really careful about when you're going to play it. So this is a game of really trying to guess what your opponents are doing. You can see half of the information, but you can't see all of the information. So you sit there and just, your brain is burning as you're trying to think, oh, did they put a reverse down there? Or are they trying to fool me? Have they put a 6 down? And you can see some of what they've put, but not all. So this is a game about outfoxing and outthinking your opponents. It's a very simple game. You score points according to the cakes in your stack. Again, there's a little player aid which reminds you how to score. So in your stacks at the end of the game, so at the end of each round, you're going to stack up your cakes. You can do that in any order, so your cake stack might look something like that. There's a maximum number of different cakes that can be stacked on top, so you might be better doing something like that. But you can't change it at the end of the round. You've fixed. Anything you get in future rounds got to go on top. You can't put cake stacks, you can't put layers underneath. At the end of the game, you're going to count up how many layers you've got in each cake stack. Each layer gets 1 point. For any cake of over three or more layers, cake layers, you're going to score 2 points for a chosen layer type. So I might choose this type of cake. These are of the same type. They would score 2 each. That would be worth 5 points. But if I have a topper on top of this card, if I've got the cherry on top, that's going to double the value. As long as the cake's 3 or more layers, it doubles the value. So that would be worth 10 points. So you're really thinking about which cards you want to get, what order you're going to put them in, and how you're going to outfox and outthink all the other people with the information that's available to you. That's Top Cake.